What's up, guys and gals? Good evening, good evening. In for another Monday stream where we talk about a random topic, and I think today's topic is pretty important. So today we'll be talking about what to expect on your first track day. Now, if you haven't already, I had a video come out, actually like a live stream too, and I made an edited video about how to prepare for your first track day. And it's a little bit different because in that video I talked about, how you prepare your stuff, like what you need, how you prepare your car, and how you prepare yourself. This video is about what to do and expect when you show up to your first track day. So you've already signed up, and we'll probably do a video about that. And now it's the morning of, either the morning of or the morning before. It depends. So there's multiple ways to do it. If it's something local, hopefully it's a track day that's local to you, and you don't have to drive too far. You show up early in the morning, and this is what you have to do. So this video is going to be about that. Well, this weekend, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because this weekend there's a FIRM meet. So FIRM is the Florida International Rally and Motorsport Park. That's a local track to me. There's a small group of people renting the track out. It's called the Winter Showcase, and it's the first time this has ever happened for this event. And it's hosted by Staker, so he's a big car meet guy in Jacksonville, North Florida, and now he's starting to do track meets. He was, marketing this thing as like, we all split the cost. So it's a pretty good entry-level event, and I know a lot of my friends are going there for the first time, and this will be their first track day ever. Some of them haven't even done autocross. So I decided to do this live stream for them and turn it into a video. Hopefully they'll edit and create and put out by hopefully the end of the week so they can watch it and not watch the whole stream, but so they could be ready to, for their track day, and they know what to expect, right? Anyway, so let's just jump into it. I would say like the first part is step 0, and by step 0 I mean this is the stuff that you need to prepare before your first track day. So before they even like show up, this is what you need to get done. And like I said in the last video, this is just a quick overview of what you need to know. You got to bring your stuff. So what does that entail? You need to bring your basic tools. You can't forget your helmet. You have to bring your helmet. If you don't have a helmet, then they have rentals. Just make sure that the track offers rentals. Sometimes they don't. And if you do have and if you are planning on getting a rental, bring a head sock. So that way you're not, sweating in a helmet that someone else has sweat into. So that's, those are the kind of stuff that you need to bring. You also need to bring your snacks and water, because for the most part, you're going to need to eat and drink, right? And also bring your tech sheet. Make sure it's prepared, filled out, and signed off. That way, otherwise you can't get on track. Without your tech sheet, you're not getting anywhere close to the track. So that's the first step. Second step is prepare your car. This is really basic, really quick. Just check your basic maintenance. Make sure that you're taking care of the car. Check your brakes. And like I said, go over the tech sheet. Like the FIRM tech sheet, which I'm going to show real quick. This is the FIRM tech sheet. Make sure you fill this all out. You just have your regular, name, email, contact info, and then down here, this is to be inspected by a mechanic or driver. So it's a self-inspect form. You make sure your helmet's good. No motorcycle helmets. That's an important one. In the last video, I stressed that a lot. Make sure you bring a Snell helmet, right? 2015 or newer. That's usually because it's like a 10-year rule. So any 2015 helmets will expire in 2025. So make sure you have something that's 2015 or newer. Like if it's 2020, it won't expire until 2023. So you're good. Your attire, shoes must be solid, closed-toed, and in good condition. Don't be coming up to a track day with flip-flops or, shoes with holes in them and stuff like that. Because if you come in with those, they won't let you on track. And you got to imagine, like, if you're driving on track in flip-flops and it gets stuck underneath your brake pedal, or it forces your foot to stay on the gas pedal, that's sketchy. Clothing. Now this is kind of like, it says long sleeves and pants and natural fibers. So this is for fire protection, right? If your car catches on fire, you want to make sure you have long sleeves and pants and natural fibers. So like, for example, if you had synthetic materials, it'll melt and stick to you, and then that will burn you as you rip the clothes off. It'll stay on you and burn you. So that's the reason why they want natural fibers like cotton. But in Florida, I think they're a little lenient especially for the newbie guys, to allow you to wear short sleeves and shorts, but it's track specific. So make sure that's you clear that up. What's up, Ian? You doing all right? Ian's in the chat. You guys just went to Road Atlanta and we had a little meet this weekend. It was fun. I'm jealous. You guys got to catch me up on all the Road Atlanta shenanigans. You watching from home? Oh, what's up, Adam? Why are there corners? This guy's straight up going into the FAQ section. We haven't even gotten there, Adam, man. We're looking at the tech sheet. There's corners on this tech sheet because it's made of a piece of paper. A piece of paper has corners. We're not even talking about the track yet. You guys working? Or Adam, I guess you're working. Yeah, anyway, so here, seatbelt harnesses, right? I would show you the NASA tech sheet, but this video is not about this. This is the stuff you need to do before your track day, right? So we'll go over this quickly. Seatbelt harnesses, good condition, and if you have harnesses, make sure they're not expired. Arm restraints, I guess for open wheels. Seats bolted down. I've seen people go in there with like super wobbly seats, and it's not good. Oh, that's right, Adam. You've been on day shift training, Monday through Friday. Good. That means you could get some sleep at night now, and you could join us here on stream. I gotta set it up so we could play Gran Turismo. So we'll get to this item. Interior and trunk clear. Securely mount devices. We'll also get to that. So this is where it gets to the car stuff. Suspension, no looseness, right? Shocks, no leaking. Make sure your windshield's not cracked, because if it is cracked and it burst while you're driving, that's not good for you. That's not good for the people behind you, because you won't be able to. Just imagine you lose control and then wipe out the people behind you, right? That's unfortunate. Make sure your wipers are functional. This is for rainy days, right? I know people do wiper deletes, but they get banned from their track day because they do wiper delete, so don't do a wiper delete. Side and rear view mirrors, .4 brake fluid. This is probably one of the most important mods you could do for your car first, is get new brake fluid. Make sure your fluid's clear and reservoir is full. Make sure your cylinder, master cylinders and calipers are not leaking. This is probably for me. Last, CMP, my caliper sprung a leak, and then I had no brakes. If you want to find out how that turned out, there's a video in my YouTube channel, so subscribe. Rotors are in good condition. I think this is what actually killed my calipers. My rotors were in such bad condition, they're eating up pads and overheating. They melted the square seal in my caliper. So that's my excuse, at least. I think that's what happened. I got new rotors and all that, but different. That's a story for another day. Make sure your wheels, if you have hubcaps, make sure they're removed or trim. And make sure your tires are in good condition, right? Lug nuts present. We'll talk about that. Torque down, right? And here's another thing that they check. Battery securely bolted in place. A lot of people with aftermarket batteries, sometimes they don't put the tie down in correctly, or they use bungee cords or zip ties. That's a no-go. Especially if you have it inside the car. There's only certain kinds of batteries they allow inside the car, but it has to be secured. Because imagine if that thing goes flying and hits you on the head, right? Exhaust system functional and secure. Fuel cap tightened. That'll throw a light anyway, so you don't want that. And make sure you check your fluids, belts, hoses, and caps. And no leaks. Because if you leak on track, you're gonna make it bad for you and bad for someone else. So yeah, these are things that you need to do before you show up. Make sure that you have all your stuff, and make sure your car is ready. And then the last thing for prep is make sure you're ready. 3 points, your mental state. What's your energy level? Are you attentive? Are you paying attention? Are you anxious? If you're anxious, you calm down. If you're not paying attention, you need to, maybe have a cup of coffee. All these things matter because if you're like stressed out or anxious and not paying attention, your reaction time is getting longer and longer. Think about your brain as like a processor. And if you're thinking about these things and you're not thinking about what's happening on track, it takes time to process, and then you'll have a delay. So yeah, make sure you're in tip-top shape, get enough sleep, all that good stuff. We already talked about dress code. And the last thing to review for yourself is make sure that you know the track layout ahead of time. So here, since we're talking about the firm, what's up, Enrique? Oh, you forgot about your battery tie down. Yeah, so hopefully, like this whole stream, I want to have like maybe at least 1 or 2 nuggets that will help you out. How excited are you for this weekend? So Enrique is one of the guys I mentioned in the beginning. Like first time ever out there, doesn't know what to expect, and hopefully this video helps you out. So of course, Ricky, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. But yeah, the battery tie down, that's important. Do you have the LHT one? I had the LHT one. That was nice. Adam, don't follow Adam's advice. If you get banned from the track because you use your belt, that's all on Adam. So yeah, the last thing to prepare for yourself is review the track layout, right? Not just the turn numbers, but another important thing is where the flag stations are. So here is an old picture of the firm, which is what's happening this weekend and why people are, preparing their cars. Learn the turn numbers, and kind of like the best thing to do is not just learn the turn numbers, but watch YouTube videos. I'm not saying watch my YouTube videos, watch someone fast like Dave, or people who, like, if you just search for the track that you're going to and then school line, usually if it's a NASA track, they'll have a car that's like set up to run the school line. And, the school line is technically the fastest line you could do on track. So that was probably the fastest and safest line you could do on track. So that's probably the best thing to do, is watch the school line. Don't break exactly where they're braking, probably break earlier than that, because all cars are different, and you'll figure out where your braking points are and all that stuff while you're on track. But for the first track day, don't focus on being fast, focus on being consistent, right? Ask Wendell to be your instructor. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to sit in the passenger seat and instruct you. Unfortunately, I think I have to leave early on Saturday. I might not stay this weekend. I might not stay the whole time. Moni's asking the important questions. How much horsepower do I need to do a track day? One, at least one. All right. So know the track layout. Watch some YouTube videos, and the important thing is learn the flag stations. This map doesn't have it. Let me see if I have another map that has it. All right, so here, this is VIR. They also don't have it. Okay. Oh man, so a lot of my maps don't have it. But anyway, the flag stations won't be manned, like all of them. Sometimes they'll be empty. So not just about, like looking where they are on the map, but also in person. So we'll talk about that. We'll get there. All right. So before one last step before your first track day. This is all prep stuff. It's read the instructions. Usually organizations will send you like an email either the week before or sometime between the week before and the day of the track day. Just read all instructions. Like they'll have important information in there. What gate you enter in. Like if it's a big track like Daytona, there's multiple gates, right? They'll tell you what gate to enter. They'll sometimes post a driver's list so you can see what other cars are there. And attached to the driver's list, sometimes they'll show you who your instructor is too. So you could get to know their, like maybe they'll have their phone number or you'll just see their name. Not all tracks have that, but that's an important thing to do, especially if you're a beginner. You find out who your instructor is. Is there an entry fee to get in? I remember one time like I forgot my entry fee because I didn't realize there had one, and I had to like use coins. Sometimes like the entry fee is like a gift. So past Road Atlanta, for example, you had to bring a I think $15, $20 gift. I think someone correct me in chat, because it was like toys for kids, right? Is there camping? If you're camping, you got to figure out if there is camping. Do they provide water and electricity? Who are the photographers for the weekend? So all this is in that email they send you the week before. Especially like, okay, it's your first time on track, and you don't want to bother someone to, like, hey, take a picture of my car. Just ask for the photographer. Because I know some people, they do their first track day and then they say, this is not for me, but at least I got good pictures. And another thing they send is the schedule. This is probably the most important thing in the email, the schedule. They'll tell you when, like driver's meetings are, classroom time, and all that good stuff. But we'll get to that. All right, so Ricky says, do they have cones out to show braking zones, or do you have to pick in a point? Yeah, and we'll go over that in future in the next steps. But yeah, for sure. All right, so step 1. We talked about step 0. Step 0 is prep. That's all the stuff that you could do before the track day. So my first step I recommend is show up when the gates open, especially if you're new. Look at that schedule that you got in the email and see when the gates open, and get there right when the gate opens. I think it's really important for newbies to get there when the gate opens, because you don't know the paddock layout. If you've been there a couple times, you could come in late, park in your spot, get everything out of your car, and then drive to tech. But if you're a newbie, you don't know where tech is, so you're gonna have to follow arrows or look at a map. It's better to be safe on your first track day than miss tech inspection or driver's meeting, because then you're out for the rest of the day. If you miss those, then you can't drive. So I would get there when the gate opens. If you're an early bird, then that's no problem. Some people like to push it. They'd like to show up right when tech opens or right before driver's meeting. You could do that if you have a couple track days under your belt. But as a newbie, I recommend show up when the gate opens. And plus, when you get there when the gate opens, you could get a good spot. So just say you roll in, gate opens, and everything's all good. You get your entry fee, you get your wristband, you sign off your waiver, all that good stuff. Step 2 is find a spot in the paddock. So as you roll in, find a good spot where either you're with your friends, or sometimes some track days have a designated spot. So if you're a newbie, HPD 1, they have a row for 1 and 2. Park there. You don't want to accidentally park in like where all the spec guys are parking, if they have it set up that way. Most track days are not, I feel like, but some are. You don't want to park where like the competition guys are. Like you show up in your, I don't know, BRZ, and you park with the Honda Challenge guys. I mean, it's cool, whatever. They're not gonna like complain, but if you're a newbie, maybe park where the HPD 1 guys are, just because that's where all the instructors are gonna go to look for you, right? So they know. Let's catch up with the chat. All right, so those are the first 2 steps. 1, show up when the gate opens. 2, find a spot in the paddock. Hi, Adam. Yeah, we'll meet up and ride out. Yeah, send a text, like what time you guys want to meet up. And Ricky, how many people are going with you? I know there was like, you said you and 2 other first-timers? Down by Orange Park. Yeah, we usually meet. There's a gas station on Wells that we could talk about offline. Kind of Orange Park area. Yeah, ride out together. That's probably the safest thing. If something happens, we're all there for each other. All right, so after you find your spot in the paddock, you have a couple tasks. I'd say the first thing is like unpack the car. You don't want to have like tools in your trunk or your gas tank in the trunk. There's a story about that. I think I talked about it in the last video. But do a couple laps and you're like, what's that noise? Is that my car? And then you check, you get off track, you check, and then you left your toolbox in the back. That happened to me recently. I think CMP. I left my air compressor in a trunk. and I had to like, I knew what it was as soon as I heard it after the first lap. I was like, oh man, I pulled in, went to my spot, took the air compressor out. By the time I got back out, it was like halfway over. The session was halfway over. So I lost a lot of seat time because I forgot to empty my car. So it'll happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to, experienced people. Moni's been tracking for so long. Sorry to call you out, Moni, but it was funny because he set his PB with stuff in his trunk. Maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs ballast to weigh his car down in the back or something. All right, so after you unpack, make sure you take out your floor mats. That's one thing that people forget. You don't want your floor mats to bunch up under your brake pedal, right? So that's the reason why people don't want floor mats in there. And then again, as you parked, review your tech sheet one more time. Sometimes you do your tech sheet ahead of time, but go over it again when you get there because your car might have been okay at home, but suddenly now, your brake fluid's low because it's been leaking, right? So just double check your tech sheet and, because you have a schedule, when tech inspection is going to be, so you could anticipate when you're going to go to tech, check your car, and that way you won't fail inspection and have to go again, right? So, all right, step 3, tech inspection. So this is where you'll pull up. Make sure you bring your helmet. They'll make sure that your helmet is, within spec, and then park there and let them inspect your car. They'll check for everything on the tech sheet, and a couple times they'll try to trick you and they're not checking everybody's tire wear, but if they see something, they're going to call you out. They're going to check people's fluids, make sure there's nothing leaking, and let's see. Yeah, they'll just check everything that's on the tech sheet. Make sure that everything's empty and your floor mats are out. A big one's the helmet. They definitely make sure that your helmet's okay. Oh, so you're going to bring a truck and trailer? You don't want to yellow it like us? First time tracking, we just drive out there. But no, that's good. That's great. You're prepared, right? You want to be prepared. And like I said in my last video, have a backup plan. And it seems like your backup plan is your truck and trailer. All right, so after step 3, which is tech inspection, number 4, you go back to your paddock and you do another self-inspection. I know, people are like, oh man, let's hurry up and get on track. Well, you want to make sure these things are right. Otherwise, you're going to get off track early and probably not, the way that you want to get off track. And by that, I mean, if you forget to check your lug nuts and your wheel comes off because you changed them last night or you changed them before your track day, then, that's your whole day gone because you didn't do something as simple as check your lug nuts. But I mean, don't be scared of these things. Just, it's better be prepared than, better be safe than sorry, right? So after your tech inspection, inspect your car one more time. And this includes torquing your lug nuts, check your cold air pressure, and check your fluids again. And, this is the time to also mount your cameras, make sure that, everything's secure and not going to fly around. Usually, I know for me, I do YouTube, obviously. But when I mount my cameras, I want to double check them again before my first session because, is the battery good? Will it fly and hit me in the face? Will it, spin around and all that stuff and distract me? You want to make sure those are taken care of. So after you self-inspect, the key points are torque your lug nuts when they're cold. You don't want to torque them right after you get off track. So you want to check them beforehand. And you want to check your cold air pressure. So as a newbie, don't be too crazy about your air pressure. Just make sure they're even, right? Before you start. And we can work on air pressure later when you figure out driving dynamics, right? All right, step 5, attend a driver's meeting. Now you had your schedule and you know what time your driver's meeting is. It's usually the first thing in the morning before tech or after tech. So you did tech and now it's your driver's meeting. At the firm, they'll use a bullhorn and announce when the driver's meeting is happening. You just walk over there and then listen to them, right? Attend and listen is mandatory. There you'll go over flags, point buys, every track the way they do point buys differs slightly. So it's good to go to the driver's meeting because right then and there, they'll tell you how everyone's going to point buy. Sometimes even between events, the point buys changes. The way point buys are done changes. Sometimes like, I don't know, is it Roebling or Daytona? I think Daytona. You know, one time they were like, everybody point buy on the left for all turns. And then another time we went to Daytona, it was, you could point buy offline. And it's like, okay, which one is it? Well, at the driver's meeting, they'll tell you which one they're doing for that weekend. So make sure you attend, right? Like I said, they'll go over flags and the flag stations, how many will be manned, and all that good stuff. So after the driver's meeting, you'll have one of two things that happen. Oh, so Moni asked, can I use a motorcycle helmet? No, you can't. So in the tech sheet, let's go back to the tech sheet. That's a good question. And Moni knows these, but you know, like any first timers, this is something that we need to bring up, right? Here, SA 2015 or newer, no motorcycle DOT helmets. So why? Well, motorcycle helmets, they might have the protection, but they might not be fireproof. And I think that's the reason, that's the main difference. But regardless of the reason, no track's going to let you on with a motorcycle helmet, right? And then you're going to be stuck either renting one, hopefully they have rentals available because everyone else rented one, or not going on track or switching with somebody, right? And this is kind of important because, you know, there's a difference between motorsport helmets and motorcycle helmets. That's a good question. Thanks, Moni. Oh, let me see what Ricky said. Okay, about 5 or 6. That's good. Good, go in a big group. All right, so what's next? I know I don't have a visual aid. Last time I did a PowerPoint. This time I actually thought about this topic like super last minute. Like, I think during lunch today, and after I got off work, I didn't have enough time to make any visual aids. But it's all good. And you know, the reason why this came up was because like, what's happening? Oh, Ricky and the guys are going to their first track day this weekend, so might as well help them out. And that's why I want to try to do is make content for, you know, like the community that will help you guys out, not just stuff that's trending, right? But anyway, after your self-inspection, this is what, your third self-inspection. You know, you have a self-inspection before you get to the track, when you get to the track, and an after tech inspection. I know it might sound like overkill, but me and my friends, we all do that, and it's just really quick. You know, you're not like losing time to do other things because you're not really doing anything. You're just waiting around. Sure, you know, like you got to set up your tent and all that stuff. Yeah, take care of that too. But it's good to be safe than sorry. All right, so after your driver's meeting, which we just talked about, one of two things can happen based on the schedule, and you got to check the schedule to make sure that you know. I know for the firm this weekend, I don't think a schedule has been released, but one of two things can happen. Either have your session, like you either have your session first, or you have your classroom first. And by session first, I mean not necessarily the first session, but they'll call out intermediates, or I guess in this case novices, out before you have your classroom time. And if that happens, that first session is going to be yellow flagged the whole time. And what do I mean by that? It's no passing the entire session, not just the first lap. And what I want you to do on your first session when it's slow like that is learn the layout of the track. Like really go slow, look around, you know, point things out like, oh, here's where the brake markers are, right? It's usually by meters. Here's where the apex is. There's a cone. Or here's where I track out because there's a curb there, right? So look for curbs, brake markers, and apexes. But even more important than that is learn where the flag stations are. They're going to be holding 2 big yellow flags, right? So you should be able to see them. Memorize where each one is. You should be able to see one at any given point. So after you pass one should be coming up within view, 1 or 2, right? And a good exercise I like to do on my first track, like if I go to track for the first time, is I like to point like, oh, there's a flag station. So I point to them. There's another flag station. There's number 2. And usually there's one per corner, but like I said, some might not be manned. And if they're not, there's for sure another flag station coming up within view after you leave another flag station. That's a good hack. It's kind of like, I know there's going to be a flag station at every corner, at least manned. If it's not manned, then I know there's going to be one past it that's going to come up as soon as I pass the other flag station. So I would do that your first session, you know, like drive slow. Everyone's going to be driving slow and there's no passing. So you can't set your personal best. You can't set a record on your first session as a novice. So yeah, point at the flag stations. That's real important. And why? Why do you want to know where the flag stations are? That's literally the only way people can communicate to you that's not already on track. You know, like other drivers can wave at you or point you by, but how do you know what's happening on track? Is it with your eyes, looking at the track itself, or looking at a flag station that you know, you get extra information. All right, so Ian says, do I need a gas can? Yeah. I mean, it depends on the track. I know some tracks, like the Firm, I use gas up, and I like to bring a gas can to fill it up. As a newbie, if you think you're going to leave for lunch, then you probably might not need to bring a gas can, but I still recommend bringing a gas can because you could have lunch at the track, right? That's a good one. I didn't actually have that on my list, Ian. And Adam, what tool should I bring? That's also a good question. It's a more, we could answer that at the end, but it's more than just a couple minutes to answer it. But like, you know, basic hand tools in my last video, if you want to check that out. If anyone's watching and wants to know the answer to that question, check out my last stream on how to prep for your first track day. So hand tools, air compressor, tire gauge, torque wrench, whatever lug nuts that you use, right? Make sure you have the lock for, or the key for it, right? If it's locked. What else? What else did I talk about? Adam, if you could help me out. Yeah, I think those are like the basic tools that you need. Tape, electrical tape, painter's tape. If the organization that you're with needs numbers on the car, you know, so basic stuff like that. And there's a full list, and I could put a link in the description to that other video. All right. So the first session, you know, you're learning the track layout, where the flag stations are, where your markers are. So braking, turn in, apex, track out. Try to see what other people are doing. Usually you're led by an instructor, like the instructor's in front of the pack. See what line he's doing. If there's an instructor in your driver's seat or your passenger seat, ask him questions. He'll be pointing you like where the best line is, or for the most part, he'll probably be asking you about yourself, right? You know, like what experience you have and all that stuff, and he'll be walking you through the turns. So, like I said, learn the flag stations. Another thing I like to do in my first session, or either first session or cold session, is I like to feel the track. So not only are you visually looking at the track and learning where everything is, but I like to actually drive over the rumble strips to see what they feel like. I remember my first time at CMP, that's kind of what I did. And I could tell, like, okay, this one's a little too aggressive. I shouldn't drive on it. In the sim, I was driving on it, but I shouldn't here, right? But that's like, if you're comfortable with where the flag stations are and where the line is, then you could drive offline. And while you're slow, go over the curbs and feel if they're, you know, like, is this going to break my suspension? Is this going to crack my wheel, right? Do it slow. And then the last thing is learn the flag stations again. So emphasize, you know, like after you do everything on your first session and you're kind of like overwhelmed, think in your head, hey, I need to learn where the flag stations are again. That's one option that might happen. You do your first session without classroom. The second option is you do your classroom before your first session. So if you have your classroom, you know, just like attend a class, listen. They'll give you the same advice I'm giving you. They'll tell you how point buys are done if you missed it in the driver's meeting, or they're going to emphasize it or correct it. They'll go over the flags, and they'll even give you some pointers and tips. And for your first session, if you're a newbie, they will set you up with an instructor. So based on the organization, the instructor will meet you either at the DE1 paddock, where you're supposed to be parking, or at false grid. Well, let me back up. After your driver's meeting and you hear the announcement for your session, like if it's novice, that's when you go to false grid. So you'll see a bunch of cars, look for the arrows that say grid. You'll park there and you'll wait to go on track, usually 10 minutes before the session starts. So you'll start hearing announcements like 15 minutes, 10-minute warning, 5-minute warning, stuff like that. So that's actually how you end up on track. I don't think I breezed over that and I didn't go over it. So Adam has a hack here. I learned this 2.5 years ago. Keep tire valve caps off. Check tire pressures after every session as soon as you park in the paddock. Yeah, that's really good advice. I keep my tire valves off while I'm on track. That way I could do exactly what Adam's saying, right? And we'll go over that, what to do after your first session. That's good advice. I like that, Adam. All right, so you're done with your first session. You're done, or your classroom. Post first session. Oh, I have it right here. Check tire pressure. So yeah, Adam, you're way ahead of me, right? You check your tire pressure hot. So this is where you start, like, at hot. When my tires are hot, I'm aiming for this tire pressure. As a novice, don't get too into it, but just make sure they're even, right? And the reason why is because you're not driving at the limit yet, and it's not really something that you don't want to adjust it if you don't know what your car dynamics are like yet. If you do know, or you do have recommendations from somebody, yeah, go for it only when the tire is hot, right? And the reason why is because, if you're driving one side more than the other, you want them to be even out only because of the way the track is designed, right? That means you're taking one turn harder than you are taking another turn. Like the left, for example, the firm eats up your driver's side front tire because you're making a lot of, heavy right turns. So you just want to make sure the pressure is even, and more, like look on forums and stuff for target tire pressures for your tire and your car. It's different. So I remember one track day, someone was asking me for exact pressures. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like our cars are way different. Mine's a lot lighter than yours is. So our tire pressure is going to be different. And Ricky says, drink water, not soda. I wonder who you're talking about there. So that's one of the things in my last video, right? Prep for a track day, bring water, and don't bring soda. So yeah, after your first session, check your tire pressure and then chug water. You're gonna be like sweating or anxious or nervous, and then you're gonna be like about to pass out. So you don't want to pass out in between sessions, especially before your next session, right? You forget to drink water because you're doing all those things. You're running around, checking tire pressure, and then right before your next session, you pass out. It's not even like passing out. It's like passing out's the extreme. If you get to that point, it's already too late. But beforehand, you start to lose focus. So imagine your session 2. You've learned all these things, and you survived your first session, but now you're dealing with fatigue or you're thirsty because you didn't drink water. And then your reaction time suffers, and then you actually do worse on your second session. Yeah, don't do that. Especially in Florida, it gets really hot. Even like VIR, if you forgot to drink water, you couldn't really tell because it wasn't hot, so you weren't sweating. But you could definitely tell in the car. It really had there's science behind it, right? It does affect your reaction time. And like you did all this stuff to get your car ready. Just drink water. Get yourself ready too. You spent all this money to get your car prepped, if you did, right? You did all these mods, but you're too cheap to drink water. I'm calling you out, right? Like, come on. And the reason why we harp on it is because like you could actually do something unsafe if you're like anxious or not paying attention. All right, so that's after your first session and after your first classroom. Drink water. All right, so from that point on, it's just sessions. Listen for them to call you out for your group, or check the schedule. Some places they update the schedule live, which is awesome. Other places they only do announcements and they don't update the schedule, which kind of sucks. But some places do both. They update the schedule live and they do announcements, which like the Southeast, NASA Southeast, the way they do it is like perfect. They do it online and they do it like over Bullhorn. Eventually you'll get to lunch. Make sure you don't skip lunch. They'll eat something super heavy because then it'll make you sleepy. But also don't skip it because later on you're gonna be hungry. All the blood's gonna go like out of your brain, and you're not gonna, you're gonna be like foggy if you're hungry. And at the end of the day, after all your sessions are done, that's when you just pack up and say goodbye to your instructor. And I think that's something that's usually missed. Instructors, they get, they spend their whole day, helping you out and treating you right. And sometimes they have like review sheets. So I would just, like, hey, fill this out. Maybe get the contact information of your instructor if you like them, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like everything you need to know about your first track day, like the expectations and all that good stuff. So let's look at the chat. Yeah, Ian, we're talking about you drinking Coke instead of water. Oh, and so Adam says I was passing out on the way home from Atlanta. So yeah, another thing is after you're done with your track day, have a night plan, whether it be, okay, I'm going to drive back today and I need to drink coffee, or I need to get back to my hotel Airbnb to get some sleep before I try to drive back. Oh, that's a good. So slow down on your last session of the day. That's when you're fatigued and prone to make more mistakes. I would say 50% of the incidents are on the first session or the last session. I would say a lot of the incidents happen on the first session or last session. And that's because the first session, it's either too wet and too cold, and the person's too cold in the mind, like they're not prepared, and they go 100% and they crash. That's what happened to me in my Civic. Like the first session of the next day, I was too anxious. I was doing really good the day before. I pushed the car to 100%. Track was wet. My reaction time wasn't as good. I wasn't as awake. And that's when I hit the wall. But Apollo says, the last session. Like I said, another really common time for incidents to happen is the last session too. That's because like you're pushing the car, and that's when things like fail, or you're fatigued and you don't know how to react, right? Because you've been out there all day and you're tired. Lunch, like you're really full from lunch and the sun's coming down. I don't know how you guys feel after work, but when I'm driving home from work, that's like the sleepiest I am driving. Think about that like after track day, because track days are usually like 9 to 5 too. Coming home from work, except for now you're coming home from a track day, or you're doing your last session on a track day, and mistakes happen. So also Adam says Ian did really well this past road in Atlanta. He actually cut down on Coke. Yeah, I know Ian has been drinking a lot more water. Good job, Ian. I don't know, hasn't been in the chat to defend himself, so we just keep making fun of him, even though we know he's he's improving. Ian, why you let us do that to you? Why can't you just defend yourself? Are you just like lurking? You're just listening? You let us talk shit about you and not say, hey, I've been drinking more water. Yeah, are there any other questions about your first track day? I know Enrique is your first time, so I know my first track day I had a lot of questions. And I think the only person I knew that was going was like, I was really only close to Adam. So, like the more people you meet, the better. Like you could ask them questions, they can help you out. I remember my first track day, I showed up there with Adam, not knowing I knew some of the other guys, but I wasn't really that close. And then out of nowhere, they were all helping me with my car. So, you know, like, you don't want to be that guy that's like completely unprepared, but it's still good to know that people in the paddock will help you out no matter what, right? So, like I talked about in my last video, talk to people, walk around, say hi. You know, if you're new, talk to your instructor ahead of time, try to meet him up. You know, like maybe he has some pointers that I didn't say that he could help get you on track for your first session, right? So yeah, it's always good to ask questions. And yeah, like in our Discord, there's a lot of veteran track guys, a lot more, you know, seat time than I do in the chat. So, you know, hop on there. Let me just, you know, plug that real quick. Oh, actually, I could see the chat, but I can't type in the chat. I've been banned from my own chat. Let me go on YouTube. That was weird. All right, so here. Is my bot gonna work? There it is. So here's a link for the Discord. Join the Discord. Ask those guys questions over your first track day. I'd say half of us are either new or don't track and only sim race, and the other half are like instructors, DE4, time trials, like been tracking since they were 12 kind of people, right? So if you ask a question, you'll have someone like me answer, or someone who's just started, or even one of these, you know, veterans, and they're always willing to help. And that's the nice thing about the Discord. Discord's way better than like any of the other communities that we've been building. I know the Instagram guys, the guys who watch this from Instagram, you guys are awesome. And a lot of the good guys joined, you know, the Discord to help out. So, you know, that's my spiel about Discord. Yeah. Just go to learn, right? Absorb as much knowledge as you can. We noticed at least I did, Ian, notice that you've been improving. What happened? I know it's like a personal thing, but that's the firm. That's the meat of the stream. I think now we're gonna hop in game. Maybe I could show a video or two about what the firm is like for Ricky over here. Let's look at this real quick. Now, let me check the Discord real quick. Yeah, I see that people are already talking about the next track day. People are preparing for the next track day. Nice. All right, so here. Pit in, pit out. On Sunday, is it Sunday or Saturday? False grid is going to be right here. So where my arrow is, I don't know if you can see it. So everyone's going to line up here, and then they're going to let you on track one by one. If you ever been to like a, what's it called? Like a parade lap, that's exactly what they do. They'll line you up here. You'll wait here in the corner for the corner worker to tell you to go. He'll space you out. I think for the first session, he probably won't, because he wants you all bunched up, so you're following the lead car. The lead car is probably going to be John, who's an instructor. If you are like Ricky, as soon as they call novice, get up there, park behind John. And the reason why is because John will show you the line. He'll show you just like the line slowly, but it'd be better than being behind another novice, right? So that's just, you know, get there, get behind John, if it is John, and then follow his line. So you'll park out here. The guy's going to let you go. Your first lap's going to be very slow. Take this lap to find where all the flag stations are and see if there are people in them. Look for those yellow flags, right? Turn 1. It's kind of like turn 10 and 1 or just one big turn when you take it fast. Turn 2. I feel like it's a late turn in to get a good line for 3. And you know, if I'm talking about the line here, if anyone has any tips in the chat, just say it, right? I'm not the fastest driver, but I feel like my line is consistent, so it's relatively safe, right? But I'm not saying I'm like a time trial guy. If any of you guys are time trial guys, just speak up. But I'd say for turn 2, it's there's markers here. Brake. I usually brake like at the 2. Sometimes I push it depending on what car I'm in, and then I do a late turn in, later than what I'm used to. So that's why I call it a late turn in. That way I could like kind of be like late turn in, and you end up on the right side here, and then you hit this apex on 3, and then track out all the way to the right. As soon as you're on the right, start tracking out to the left, because your next corner is turn 4 and is a right-hander. Now, the first lap, you're not going to be doing this, but it's a flat out, for me, for my cars, it's flat out. So I just keep it flat. Sometimes I lift a little to get traction in the front, so I can turn in for turn 4. But sometimes in the Civic, I don't even lift. Like, I just flat out. If you're in a Miata, you also don't need a lift. But you want to have enough front grip to make the turn, but you don't have to scrub off too much speed. Now, if you're a novice, like slow down to the point where you're comfortable. But yeah, turn in, hit the apex here. I hit the heck out of that curb, flat out. And out here, after turn 4, there's a concrete patch that will give you more grip. So that's the reason why, like I could take the turn flat out, because the concrete saves me. So we'll watch a video about that. Stay on the left, go down the straight. Here, there's brake markers, and there's a little sign out here at turn 5. Pick a braking point. I would say start at like the 300 or 400, like start far, because this turn is a little bit more intense of an angle than the others, it seems like. And you're at higher speed, right? So, this corner tricks people, especially like in the wet. Brake early, turn in. And I say that there's a sign out here. I aim for that sign as I'm braking, and then I turn in. Some people don't really use that sign as where to aim, but that's what I do. So I aim for the sign, brake. Once I'm done with my braking, I turn in. Here is like a very similar, this turn is exactly like 5, just 2 degrees more. Like there's a cone here on the left side, brake there, turn in, and then out here there's a runoff that will give you grip, and same here. So 4, 5, 6 all have runoffs that will give you more grip. Take the straight, and you come up to the S's. This is where like it throws people off. And yeah, Adam, I'll play my in-car video after I do a walkthrough. I'm not the fastest guy, like I said, but we could use it as like a safe line. This first curb right here, this first S, try to, like you could hit it, but don't abuse it, because then it'll throw your line off for the other S's, right? This second curb right here, run over it, like really abuse it. Don't go past, like don't go off the concrete so that your wheel's in the dirt, because you could actually bottom out your car here, right? So the first S, like take it easy. Second S, run over it. Third S, you don't have to run over it, but you want to make sure your car is pointed in this direction so you're braking a straight line. This is a hairpin, and hairpins are usually tricky, as most hairpins are late apex, like apex here where the 7 is. So you brake in a straight line. There's a cone out here that you aim for, then you turn in and you kind of sweep around and hit the apex here so you could track out. The reason why you want a late apex is so that it's as straight of a line as possible so you could accelerate, right? So down 1,100 feet, there's a runoff here, turn 7. That'll give you grip, so use that. Track right. There's going to be a set of cones here for your brake markers, and this is probably the most intimidating turn of the track. And the reason why is because it's banked, so you get more grip, but there's also a wall on the outside. So the reason why it's intimidating is because you think you have more grip because it's banked, and you do, right? So you take it faster, but then as you inch closer to that wall, you're kind of like, ooh, that's like the only place there's a wall. So you find your braking point and you do a turn in. This I would treat as a double apex. So there's actually a cone down here and a cone up here. As you turn in, hit that first cone, track out, like out here, close to the wall, as close as you can get. If you're novice, close as you're comfortable. There could be a wall sticking, or a cone sticking out the wall. Aim for that. Or it could just be like yellow paint on the wall. And you'll see in the video. Track out, track in. Don't track in too early, because if you track in too early, they're going to drive off the track. Look for the cone, hit the cone exactly where the cone is. If you do it too early, you might need to slow down. Otherwise, you'll drive out your track. If you hit it too late, then it's not optimal, but it's fine. But yeah, if you hit that cone right, you should track out here, and your wheel should hit yet another concrete patch. This track has a ton of concrete patches. Let's count them. I think there's one here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6, 7. So down here, there's like 7 concrete patches that will save you from going off track. All right, so this is the main straight. This is where people drag race. After you exit this turn, just drive down the straight, check your mirrors, relax, take a breather, relax, move your fingers around, get the blood flowing, make sure you breathe, like do the whole what's the breathing technique? Like smell the roses, like in through your nose, smell the roses, and then blow out the candles through your mouth, right? That's a good exercise to get some oxygen flowing. But yeah, go down straight, do your breathing exercise, do your fingers, whatever. I like to track right until it gets to close to the braking point, where I start to turn left to take this wide turn. And the reason why I do that is because I could brake and then clip, I guess where it transitions to that like outside area. And you'll see in the video. Not everyone does this, but I like to do it, which gives you more of an arc to take these 2 turns together. The main goal is to make sure you hit this. Treat it like turn 8, double apex, right? Hit the apex here at 10, track out, start finish. This is where that concrete patch is that will save you. And then track back in, hit this apex, which will make you fly out over here and repeat. So yeah, that's the track. Let's go over it in video. I know that was like a kind of long, like you guys didn't want me to just talk about it, like it'd be better if you just saw a video. Let's see. Do I have one that's ready? Like I said, I didn't think about this topic until recently. This is a decent one. I'm just going YouTube. That's like probably the best one. I don't know if I could show it on YouTube and can I get a copyright strike on my own content? All right, so hot laps at the firm, unedited. I don't think my PB's in here, but these are decent laps. All right, make sure you guys can hear it. Like play a couple seconds. Hear that okay? Yeah. All right. All right, so here we're coming up in the straight. This is that turn 10 and 1 combo I was talking about. So clip the apex. You see a little concrete patch out here? This is where your left wheels can go, and you gain more grip if you're about to slide out. So, like use it. You want to use it if you want to do a fast lap. All right, so this is where the lap starts. Turn 1. At the apex, you'll track out to the left. See these cones? There's 3, 2, 1. That means, those are your brake markers. You see where these tracks go off? Like, that's somebody panic braking, right? Your turn-in's actually after the one cone, for me at least. So, brake, brake, brake. Oh, I started turning earlier. But if you back up a couple frames, see if can I do it? I'd like to turn right where those wheels go off, right? A little late. Like, if you turn in too early, you're going to go off and you're going to miss the apex for turn 3. This is probably the trickiest part of the track. If you turn in late, then you do a safe, you'll be on the right side, and you'll be ready for turn 3. So if you notice that you're like struggling to keep it on track in turn 2 and you're about to miss 3, like next time you go around to turn 2, do brake, look at the marker, 3, 2, 1, breathe, and then turn in. And I think like that delay, that short delay, will get you to that late braking point. So 3, 2, 1, turn in, apex 2, and then here's 3, track out. This is where I'm talking about turn 4. You could do it flat out. Start to go to the left. I probably don't, maybe because I have passenger. Like I lifted a little, turn in, aggressively hit the curb. See, I hit it a little, and then you have this track out point. The concrete is a lot more grip than the asphalt. What's up, Nick? Nick says, don't die. Yeah, so that's probably the biggest advice. Number 1, don't die. And number 2, don't wreck your car. So if you wreck your car but don't die, at least you followed rule 1. If you wreck your car and die, then you know you didn't watch the video enough to to survive. Okay, that's kind of bad because recently people have damaged their cars, and you know, like me, I damaged my car. Sometimes it hurts, but you know, like what else can you do? You know, you pushed it. All right, so this is turn 5. Let's go back a couple frames. If, you know, you get out of 4 and you hit this patch, get back on track, and then stay on the left. Let's see if the sign is still there. So yeah, oh, it's gone. All right, so there used to be a sign like right here where my cursor is that I'll look at before I do look at the apex. Like this is where my car needs to be pointing. So I, you know, break it to 3, 3, 2, 1, turn in, hit this apex. You see this little concrete patch again? You know, this gets you grip. This is the turn in cone, but I like to, there's no brake markers. That's a turn in cone. I like to look at this where it goes from grass to concrete. That's kind of like, okay, I need to brake soon. It's not exactly my brake point, but it's a good indicator of where, you know, you could start braking. Brake, turn in, hit the apex, and here we are at the S's. So I don't know, just saw the other concrete patch. So the S's are coming up. Here, I don't hit this first curb on the left. I don't hit the one on the right, obviously. I don't hit it as hard. I drive over this like it doesn't exist, which is pretty much makes it a straight line. Allows me to turn in. It's a little sloppy here. Moni was giving advice. I could do this a lot better. I aim for this cone when I brake, then turn in late, and I treat this hairpin as a late apex. So there's a cone. Try to touch it. I didn't there. Then, you know, concrete again on the outside. The concrete's always more grip than the asphalt. Alright, so Series 0 says that sign got taken out by Panos that blew the braking zone. Oh, so the sign used to be there, but the guy hit it. And I'm guessing the guy was also looking at the sign as his braking point, so at least we have the same line, but he didn't brake enough. So I guess that's like when you're staring at the sign, you know, like you'll hit it if you just keep staring at it and not brake. But yeah, I mean, that's a good sign. That means we both had the same strategy. Look at the sign. All right, so this is the turn. This is turn 8, the most complicated or most risky turn, I think. Like the most complicated turns is turn 2 and 3. This is the most risky, I think. The 3, 2, 1, brake, shift if you need to. You probably do need to shift. Hit that first apex. You see this cone out here? Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Let your left side touch it, and then I missed the apex there, so this other cone on the left is what we're supposed to hit. But I'm late apexing anyway, so I slide out to the concrete and I get more grip. And down the straight again. And then we start over. I stay on the left. You see, like, the reason why I stay left is because it allows me to get as close to that cone without having to... See, if I was on the left side and I needed to hit that cone, after this little indentation, I would have to turn left and then go to the cone. But if I start on the right, you know, now from this view, it's a straight shot to the cone. So I could brake, right? That's my strategy, at least. So I brake, touch the cone, track in, hit the curb, and then hopefully, if I'm fast enough, it'll track me out, but I wasn't. Hit the second cone, and there you go, turn 2 and 3 again, right? So that, yeah, let's just watch. Yeah, so there's no lap. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not the fastest. I mean, I'm 126 in my Civic, but I would say my line is like safe. There's definitely room for improvement. You know, I definitely need to improve the S's and the hairpin. That's probably where I'm losing a lot of time. If I'm braver at turn 8, I could probably gain some time there. Here, I'm probably braking too much. So, you know, this was all before I had experience at other tracks. And one of the things that's nice about having an instructor, especially one that sees you at multiple events, is they could kind of gauge how you're driving and how you're improving and give you tips and like, you know, hey, you're constantly over braking the car. And I think that's my problem. You know, like I abuse the brakes and I brake too hard and I over slow the car. With a car like a Civic, you want to be like momentum, right? So you want to keep the momentum up, so not over brake. So I think I just need to be braver and, you know, keep it fast, stay fast, stop slowing down. I know my goal for the Civic is at least to break the 20s, right? I want to be like high 119s, which is going to be a lot of work, you know, like driver mod and car mod, you know, like I think the car could probably do it. Maybe 120. I think my PB is 123. Let me check. 123 in the Civic. I think there's room to improve too. It's not like this day I didn't do my PB. I don't know what my PB is. I thought it was a 123. But yeah, let's switch cars. Let's look at the Lotus. This is like way before though. I don't think I've driven this track in the Lotus since like early last year. So yeah, another perspective. We're gonna be on the outside of the car. Yeah, so this is back when Daytona was my last track. I've added like 4 more tracks since then. Alright, so I'm starting to right, going to left, brake straight line, hit the cone, turn right, hit the apex, bounce off of it. I should be tracking out to this concrete patch, like there. Another cone on the right, apex, here, 3, 2, 1. Hesitate, turn in, hit the apex, turn left, apex, track out, get on the left side. Here I lift into Lotus because I'm a wuss, hit the apex, track out here, you know, use that concrete, it gives you a lot more grip. Aim for the sign, which is not there anymore. Turn in, hit the apex, get on the concrete, get some grip. You hear me? I'm accelerating late, and that's good in a rear-wheel drive car. If you accelerate too early, then you're gonna spin, right? So I hit the curb there, brake straight line, get your turning done, hit the apex. I'm following this Adam over here. I missed the track out, but that's okay. I misshifted. Oops. Brake, brake, brake. Turn left. Double apex, apex on the left. Apex. Hit this cone on the right, which isn't there at that time. Hit that apex, and then track out, use that concrete. And that's it. That's a lap in the Lotus. I love this car. Like, I should do it, drive it more often, right? It's fast in the turns. Like, it's only like, what, 200 horsepower? But man, with all the downforce and all that, it really sticks in the turns. Oh yeah, Adam says, you know, track the first half and bounce out lunch. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I need to be in Orlando that afternoon, so I'll probably go, you know, meet you guys up, get to the track, do a couple laps, and then go straight to Orlando. I don't like driving a Lotus to Orlando because all the traffic, but it's all good. So yeah, we talked about, you know, your first track day, what to expect. We talked about the first track, which a lot of you guys are going to this weekend, and I'll be there. I'll try to be there. So let's hop in Assetto Corsa actually, and see what see if we can do some hot laps, maybe a couple minutes. Now you have to bear with me because right now I'm set up as my like talking head video and not my let's go sim racing video. So I gotta move a bunch of stuff. So I might mute you guys so that you don't hear everything. But until then, here's a nice picture of the track. All right, give me a second. All right. So now that I've moved the camera, let's all right, so we're gonna do the firm. The firm 6. Now the only thing about this track is I can't use the, you know how I said, track out to the concrete patches. They don't exist in this mod. It's actually grass. It's like textured grass. So if you do hit the outside things, you'll spin. All right, so we'll do the firm in the Civic. A little practice. Their elevation is kind of non-existent. So yeah, keep that in mind. That how I drive it in the sim is different from how I'm supposed to drive it. All right, so can you guys hear everything? You guys can't see anything though. Oh yeah, because I was iRacing earlier. There you go. Now can you see? Maybe? Yes? Okay, yes, you can see. All right, let's oh crap. Didn't mean to get in the car. Go back to pits. Adjust a couple settings. Alignment, for sure. Set it up the same way I do my normal car, which is 0 toe everywhere. Because track car. I'll go low fuel. We'll drive. All right. What's up, doing the thing? I remember last time you were like hanging out when we were doing when my wife was learning how to drive manual. You actually did really good. I think next Monday, we're gonna do I think someone mentioned in the comments, like she should try the license challenges at Gran Turismo. That'd be nice. You notice that here I'm sitting, I don't know if you could tell, I'm sitting on the outside of turn 1, which is the pit lane, and you see this little white line. That's where it actually slows you down for the pit lane. So if I use this and I want to track, it's going to slow me down. All right, so let's walk through the turns. You pass turn 1. This is turn 2. There's no brake markers in this mod. Kind of up the hill. Apex, and then apex here. Get on the left. There's no brake markers, so I have no idea where I need to stop. We're gonna brake there for now. Oh crap, I'm not. Usually you just flat out, so there's no turn in. Here's kind of where it gets tricky. There's no brake markers, but you need to turn left here, or turn right. Sorry, here. I didn't brake enough. So usually I would see there. I would hit the concrete patch and stay on track, but I didn't. It was grass. So here on the left, there's also concrete patch, where there's nothing there. These cones are in the middle of nowhere, but they actually don't exist. There's a really crazy bump there. First apex. Abuse the second apex. It says lap or cut detected, but I didn't brake enough. Late apex here, and then track out on the left. There's usually concrete, but this time there's not. This is where it kind of gets confusing. You just blow through the cones. I don't know why there's cones here. Blow through the cones. I don't know why there's a huge bump there either. Brake. Your left turn. There's not a lot of. There's supposed to be more banking here, but it's not a lot. There should be another cone here for your apex, and then track out. All right, so that's a lap. Let's do a fast lap. Now I don't know if you can tell, but the mod is a little off, but this guy did it for free, right? So usually I would go farther left here, but I don't want to pit in. Oh, I didn't brake enough. So I'm supposed to be able to use that white area there and put me in the pits. Brake here. Brake, late turn in. And then here, let's see if we can judge it. I mean, there's no cones, so it's kind of like hard. I mean, look at the apex, turn in. Oh, a little early there. And you see, like, I'm supposed to get on that concrete patch and get more grip, but obviously it's not there. All right. So there being not having markers is really rough. Let's see if we can just like do it by eyesight without excuses, right? Ooh, that bump right there is really bad. It's not that bad in real life, so don't be afraid to use it. Oh man, so there, my rear right tire hit the grass. This is a really bad example of a lap. I don't think I practiced the firm recently. And watch, I'm gonna go flying here because there's a bump in the road apparently, right there. Brake, third, first apex. Outside. Second apex. Usually I could just keep it floored, but yeah, see, I would be using the concrete, but it doesn't exist, so now I have to adjust. Alright, let's see if we can do a clean lap. I actually don't have to stay on the right anymore. Oh, taking it really slow. I'll see it slows me down there because it thinks I'm trying to pit in. I love 10 and 1, but not in the mod, not in here. Apparently this is the real layout. It's just not as complete. I'm guessing the cones are left over from the rally layout. That's what my guess is. I have to be careful here because, oh, see, like if I touch that grass, I'm done. And I would be on the concrete, but it is not there. That's what my guess is, why there are cones in the middle of the road and why it's like saying I'm like cutting the track because it thinks it's a rally layout. But like I said, the person who made this, you know, it's a free mod. Oh man, so there, if you apex early, you're gonna miss the exit. And it kind of sucks that the concrete's not there. That concrete really saves you. Braking too much there. Yeah, I'll do a clean. You can't do a clean lap because it makes you think that you're going off. Or the game thinks they're going off during where those cones are. Oh, late brake. I need to find a braking point there because the cones are gone, right? The markers are gone. Maybe when the service road on the right starts. That was a pretty good, you know, beginning of the lap. S's. Use the right curb. Oh man, that seems a lot shorter. Yeah. Either I'm going a lot faster there in the sim than in real life, or it's a lot shorter. So my right rear keeps hitting the dirt. Yeah, I have a feeling that these too much is gonna make me jump. Yeah, see, like bumps up a little. So Ricky, don't do what I'm doing right now, right? And going all over the place. And anyone else that's watching that's, you know, the first time there is this weekend, you know, don't do what I'm doing in here. And again, the real track is more forgiving than what, you know, this mod. Yeah, see, it slows my car down there, but I'm not gonna change my line for the mod. Because then what if I get used to it and, you know, I can screw up my line in real life? Let's see if we can get the turn in. right? Oh, a little off. Here we're gonna brake hard. Just use the service road on the right. Okay, a little early there. So we can brake later than the service road. These S's always screw me up because we usually go too fast. Oh man, my heel toe is sucking right now. See, it says I cut the track, but I didn't cut the track there. Usually I'm a little bit more like firm on the gas there, but it's all good. I had a little miss break there, but that's okay. No cone to turn in, but we'll try it here. Oh man, see, I would have made it on the concrete. It's funny because like the concrete is in the ground, it's just acts like dirt. Same for the curbs. The curb shouldn't act like dirt. The curb should act like track. I mean, maybe a little slip, but not like that intense. Slow down a little too much there. A better hairpin. That's what the hairpin you want to do. Late apex so that you track out at the end. Straight line, gas early. Little maintenance throttle. Oh, I'm hugging it inside way too much. I was gonna try to track out, but I mean, it's a rally layout when you're all over the grass, right? That was rough. So, you know, get on that concrete patch. I wonder there, if you're skilled enough to, when you brake and turn. I had a brain fart. Oh man, I'm not even paying attention. Do a trail brake there. Turn 3, or not 3, 2. All right, let's see if we can do a good lap. No brain farts. These seem a lot more compact than in real life. I don't think it's like this bad. Well, you said I went up on like 1 wheel or 2 wheels. Yeah, I would be on the concrete patch there, but it's dirt. Yeah, so any other questions, or, you know, if you're in a chat and you've been to track days, you know, like, let other people know what other advice you have or what they should expect. Because there's some newbies in the chat and newbies that will watch this video later on. So yeah, ask me questions, whatever questions you have, even if you already know the answer. Something that might help somebody out. Over break there, but I mean, it would have been a good, if that wasn't grass. Oh man, you see that? It slowed me down. I gotta turn that off. I know Dave mentioned there's a way to do it. I just gotta modify the track map, you know. The concrete would have saved me. I'm blaming that on the map. Man, I gotta figure out this braking point. Doesn't do anything. Is sending it on the out lap a good idea? So yeah, we in the little chat, we talked about, you know, like your first session. No, don't do that. Oh man, I'm not paying attention. It's hard to talk and drive. So like, not only as a novice, but even as someone who's experienced, don't send it your first lap out. And that's a good point. Good question too. Like, if you're a novice and you go out there, don't send it, because your main focus, the first session, it's gonna be yellow. No, there's gonna be no passing. Everyone's gonna be slow, so you're not gonna set a record or anything. Focus on learning the track, learning the layout. You know, get in front, follow the instructor, because usually there's an instructor in the front. Follow him, learn the line, and then another important thing is learn where the braking points are, the apexes are, the track out points, where all the curves start and end, and more importantly, where the flag stations are. And like, they're gonna be out there in full force, so holding out double yellow, so they'll be easy to spot. You know, as you pass a flag station, point to it, make a mental note. You know, like, this is where I need to be to communicate, for the track officials to communicate to me. And yeah, that's what you do the very first session as a newbie. You know. If you're doing your first session as someone experienced, you also want to not send it, because you're, you know, like, you got to get into the right mindset, and your tires are cold and the track's cold. It kind of done as an off there. I go down a second here. Some people don't, but I recommend second. But that's a good question. Man, I wish there were brake markers. Right now I'm like using the graphics on the ground, and those don't really, you know, it's hard to see flat graphics. I would usually shift, but I don't know. Still trying something out. I usually can run over that curve really well. That's a bad start to this lap, but I feel like I'm turning in too early there. I need to, you know, like, because there's no cones and no markers, it's hard to pinpoint. But I need to get a better idea of where I need to turn in. But yeah, if you have a sim, you know, this is like the perfect time to learn the track layout before you get on track. So that way you don't use the first day. If it's a 2-day event, you don't use the first day trying to learn the layout. You know, you've already learned it in a sim. Oh, I counted as the off. I didn't see an off there. Almost lost it, but I gained control. Another good question. Is coaching really that useful if you sim race? So it is, and I think it's because, and you know, you're asking these to help me out, not because you don't know. And like, sim racing, when you're in the chair, is a lot different from when you're actually getting seat time, right? And you know this. The sim racing is good to get you not lost, so you know the layout of the track. You kind of learn where your braking points are, you know, like how far you could abuse turns. I know one guy said, you know, like, drive so hard in the sim that you go off, and it kind of teaches you the safe places to go off. You know, like, oh, here's a place where there's good runoff, and, you know, like, oh, here's a place where I can push it to this limit before I go off. And it's nice to do in the sim because you're not wrecking a real car. There's no risk, right? But you still need a coach in real life, because they will point you, you know, based on the track conditions, which, you know, changes every day, where the line is, what you need to do, where to look out, other drivers, right? So there's another spotter, especially if you're new. You're focused on driving, you're not looking in your rear view, which is bad. But the instructor can actually save you, you know, whenever stuff like that happens. Like, hey, there's someone behind you, you know, look out. Oh man, I don't know why I was in third there. That was horrible. Yeah, coaching is great. Like, as Nick said, Nick is a really great instructor for NASA, and he has a lot of seat time under his belt and instructor time. And I think the reason why guys like him are fast is because they, you know, work as instructors and they've been instructed. As a novice person, when you're joining DE1, don't skip the free, you know, like, instruction. Like, what a gift to have, you know, like, to get a free instructor with your track day. some places charge you for an instructor. You know, like if you're going to like just say you are a member at the firm, right? Sure, some of your sessions you could request for a free instructor, but at a certain point, you got to start paying like an outside company to start doing, to like give you instruction, and like HPD Academy is an example of that. Like they get you to the next level, but if you're in DE1, you might as well use your free instructor, right? And when you're 3 or 4 and you're ready to move on to the next level or set better track times, that's when you get a professional instructor like HPD Academy. But take advantage while you're a novice and can get the free instructor. Those guys are out there spending their weekend to like give advice to new drivers, which is great. So like might as well put them to work. And I know that's the reason why I probably do more NASA events than I do any other track day events, is because of that format, right? I think the Blind Apex podcast, they talked about in one of their episodes, like the importance of instructors and how there's like a shortage. Like people when they instruct, they need to realize that it's about the student, not about like if you're instructing and you're also doing DE4 or you're also doing time trials, that's important for you, but you can't be selfish to the point where the student suffers. I think that's a good point, and a good like mentality to have for both the instructor and the student. Which like if you're getting an instructor, you might as well maximize the instructor, and the instructor will be NASA instructors are good, so they'll take care of you. I guess there might be a difference between coaching and instructing. Maybe that's what you meant. Okay, that would not be an off on track, but I guess here it is. But yeah, I guess coaching might be considered different than instructing, right? Instructing is more like, oh no, I'm out of gas. Oh, so that's a good hint or piece of advice. Make sure you have gas. I'm out of gas. I also know a couple of people who ran out of gas on track. Hint, hint. So don't do that on your first track day. Yeah, I did it on purpose. It's like I did it on purpose so that you guys knew. Like as a talking point, don't run out of gas. All right, so let's get some gas. Oh, let me catch up on the chat. Chin instructors. I've actually not been to a chin event, so I can't speak on their instructors. I heard they're good. I mean, they do Daytona, and a lot of the guys in the Discord do chin track days, so not too bad apparently. Let me open up the chat in here. It says the chat's open, but I can't see it. I don't know why. There you go. There's the chat. Uh-oh, it's not loading. Yeah, I don't know why I can't type in chat. I have to like go to a browser to talk to you guys. Is there a mod on? Kate, are you online? No. No mods? Maybe I need to hire more mods. Alright, let me get into chat real quick. Just as a reminder, before we keep going, you might hear a double feed in a second. You might hear a double feed. Yep, there you go. Alright. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. There's a lot of people who do in the Discord who do chin track days. Either NASA or Chin. There's another group out there that does it. But yeah, click the link, join the Discord. Ask that question in the Discord. Our Chin instructors, I think I would say is very similar. They're pretty well trained, just like NASA. So yeah, this is for other people who aren't already in Discord. I know you're already in Discord. But yeah, if you have that same question, Our Chin instructors, ask in the Discord. That's like the live Q&A. Like, go in there, ask any questions. The guys are willing to help, and if they're, like not in the mood to answer, then they might not answer right away. I'm like nobody's forced to answer questions, but if you're watching and enjoying the video, hit the like if you can. It really helps out. Like not for me, but if you like the video, maybe it'll bring other people who could use this information, right? So the really, really small group here on YouTube, which is good. YouTube and Twitch. Right now I'm live on Twitch too. Yeah. Sebring with Chin. When are you going to Sebring? What day? Is it like a couple weekends? My Sebring experience was very hot and a little rainy. I think next time we do Sebring, we'll probably do it in the winter. I'm thinking, let's look at the calendar. You see me leaning over for my keyboard, and in my last video about, gifts for sim racers, I said use a wireless keyboard. And here I am not using a wireless keyboard. Oh, NASA is Sebring this weekend. I think, yeah, we talked about it. Sebring is in a couple weeks for Chin, right? So this weekend is Sebring and the Firm. We are planning on going to Sebring. Oof. Oh, man. April? Maybe the end of next year. There's actually not a schedule for Sebring for us. Our track days are January Roebling, January Homestead. There's CMP in February, but we're probably gonna skip it. NOLA in March, maybe. There's Roebling and Sebring in April, but that's it starts getting warm. NASA has CMP in April. I don't know if we're gonna do CMP. They also have Homestead in May. We are definitely not doing Homestead in May. Imagine going down to Miami in May. Jesus. Staying outside all day. Road Atlanta, June, maybe. Sebring, June. Barber in July is what we want to aim for. That would be nice. Sebring, August. Roebling, September. That's the Savannah Sizzler, I think. That Roebling. We might make it, might skip it. I don't know. It's a good end of summer track day. Watkins Glen, Sebring, CMP, another CMP, Homestead, Road Atlanta. Road Atlanta, we probably are aiming for Road Atlanta in December. That's like one of our favorite events. And in October, one of our favorite events is Oktoberfest, which is VIR. And that was a great event. All right, let's see here. What's February 17th? Oh, okay. So let's see. Yeah, okay. That's the same day as CMP for NASA, but if you're gonna be at Sebring, I want to try to go. That'd be nice. Maybe it's our first time trying. I don't have, so on the calendar I don't have Chin track days. Can you post the Chin the schedule in the Discord if you can? Yeah, I pulled an E and ran out of gas. Sebring April. Moni actually did a worse, like he ran out of gas on track, right? That was scary because I saw the yellow flag come out and I was like, oh, where's Moni? And he didn't come in until like the very end because he ran out of gas. And at first I thought something happened in the car. But yeah, Ian ran out of gas. I think it's only a matter of time before I run out of gas. I really pushed it. So when we go to Daytona, I usually don't bring gas because it's like only half a day worth of sessions. But I did not realize how much gas that track uses. And it makes sense because you're at full throttle like majority of the time, right? When you're in the outfield. Yeah, outfield. Because infield, is like very technical. Not very technical. It's kind of technical, but you're still getting out of gas a lot. But once you're in the outfield, you're just on the gas the whole time. And I used up like my whole tank to the point where I had no bars left. And I had to come in early. So yeah, it's only a matter of time before I run out of gas. The Sebring April, yeah. Let me double check. Yeah, so Sebring April. That's the same exact day as Roebling April. So maybe we'll do Sebring April. I mean, I definitely want to do Sebring when it's cooler. So April might not be too bad. It's definitely not a May. what's the other Sebring? August, that's hot. And October is the other Sebring. Maybe October. But yeah, if you Adam, if you do Sebring April, I'm down because it'll be your first time, right? I want to be there for your first time. Sorry I missed the Road Atlanta your first time. That sucked. Like usually we are able to, you know, hang out and enjoy the track for the first time. All right, let's try again with this time not run out of gas. I have a little foot cam action going. Brake, turn in, hit the apex. Kinda excited. This is gonna be good. I don't know why I broke there. This is gonna be good this weekend for the first timers. There's gonna be a whole group of first timers, so I'm pretty sure Adam's gonna be around to like talk to people, give them advice. Adam, are you gonna instruct people too, or are you just gonna like hang out, maybe do a couple laps? I mean, the nice thing about the Staker meet, it's also a car show, so you could hang out, you know. And you know, I'm saying track guys go out there this weekend to get some seat time, but also non-track people come out there and watch. It's a car show combined with track day, so there's gonna be a section out there for all the nice cars that aren't gonna be on track, but are, you know, like still part of the North Florida, like represent, you know. Oh crap! So they're at Apex too early. But yeah, support. You know, come out. It's a good time. It might be like out of your way. You know, it's like a 2-hour drive, or like hour and a half. I forget. It's a long drive. You know, just for a car show. Sometimes it might not be worth it, but it's car and track, and it's free spectators. I think. I might be wrong actually. Look it up on Facebook. Staker Productions. It's called the Winter Showcase. So look it up on Facebook. Unless someone wants to post a link in the chat. Help me out, because I'm driving. Post in the chat or Discord. Either one. Yeah, if you're gonna watch, you know, like, nice. Maybe, like, if someone's, like, experienced wants to give you a ride, then I think they do have options for riders, right? You have to, like, sign a waiver, and I think there might be a fee, but, yeah. If you've never done track, and you're thinking about taking your car out there, ride with someone and see if you feel sick. Because I think some people, like, they get motion sickness and they only track once. It would be kind of a shame if you bought a whole track day and then that's when you realize you get motion sickness. But the difference is when you're driving, you know, like, you don't feel as sick as when you're a passenger. So maybe that's not a good measure. Maybe I'm just, you know, like, giving bad advice. Oh no! So as soon as you hit that off bank, it just pulls you off. Yeah, so Adam says Road Atlanta was awesome. Glad the weather turned out better. Yeah, at first it looked like it was gonna rain every day, and that's exactly what happened to us last year. It rained the first day, second day was nice. So I think it sounds like the same thing happened this time around. It seems like that's the pattern. But you know, you can never predict Georgia weather. Oh, and if you're a regular viewer of the stream, you know Wednesdays we do the community race. I think in the Discord we're gonna vote on what car and track we're gonna do this Wednesday. We might mix it up because people are like most of the time we do road course. I think we should do some ovals or dirt ovals. I don't know if people just want to prepare for the firm though, so I don't know. We'll see. I think it counts as off. That wasn't an off. My brakes lock up there? I don't know why. I'm a lot slower in the sim on this track than I am in real life. I don't know why. Oh man. Oh, I know why, because I can't use the concrete. You'll be tracking less next season, like 2024? What's your excuse, Ian? I mean, I guess like you're you're preparing for time trials or something, right? Aren't you preparing for to compete? Is that what you mean? You're gonna be competing more but less track days? I want to do at least 3 new tracks next year. Watkins Glen, Barber. What was the other one? NOLA. That's my goal. Next year, 2024, those are 3 new tracks I want to try. If anyone's like local to those areas and like, you know, wants to give us advice on where to stay, that'd be nice. Maybe I could share it on stream or something, you know, don't just help us out, help the community out, you know. I'm over here being selfish. Hey, let us know where everything is. And my heel toe there sucks. I need to improve that. Oh, okay, so you're doing the same thing? You're not tracking at all, you're just there to hang out? I'm actually signed up to track, but I don't know if I can track the whole day. Oh crap. So in real life, the wall there would like demolish you. I think I was on track for a decent lap too. Yeah, Ian's always lying over here. You know, Ian always pulls up behind me and says, I'm gonna take it easy, but then the whole time he's up my butt. It's like, he's like, I'm really slow, or he's like, not really taking it easy. Or, you know, he's taking it easy and I'm just slow. Ian, man, you're always lying to us. Well, trail braking there feels good. A lot of people, even in front-wheel drive cars, oversteer there, so just watch out, you know? Don't, like, I don't know how people oversteer there in front-wheel drive. Let me try to make it happen. Let's see if I can get it to happen. This is a pretty straightforward turn. Here, you could oversteer, actually. I've done it in the rain. Here, you could oversteer. You upset the car on this curb right here. And then you just spin out to the left, like you've seen me do in the stream earlier. Here, it's not too bad. Like, unless you're really abusing the throttle, you can't really mess up there. Alright, so here, a lot of people take this easy, so there's not a lot of offs here because people are scared of the wall. Oh man, cut it too early. This is where a lot of brakes fail, so, you know, just watch out. Man, I'm over revving there, and it's slowing me down too much. A lot of people oversteer there. Alright, let's see if we can oversteer this. Maybe, like, they're dragging the brake. No, see, like, even dragging the brake, I understeer, so... I see a lot of people in front-wheel drive cars oversteer there, but I don't know how. Here is easy to oversteer, or go off track and then loop it. Alright, Adam, thanks for joining the stream. Get some rest. I know you're training on days lately, so you're not night shift anymore. You were like really tired at the party and during Road Atlanta, so get some sleep, man. That was way off. You're back in the days. Man, this is so bumpy. I guess that's how they kind of punish you. Make it extremely bumpy. Yeah, so I have a new feature on the channel, which is a sub goal. I want to hit 500 subscriptions, or subscribers, by maybe like February. So yeah, if you're watching and you're not subscribed and you like the content, you know, only if you like the content, then please subscribe if you can. If you don't like the content, then it's all good. I understand. Oh man, that's bad. And yeah, it helps both of us out. You know, if you like the content and subscribe, and if you also don't like the content and don't subscribe, because then, you know, it's pretty much your taste. I'll do one more lap here and then call it. But yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend. If I do get to go out there the whole day, if only half a day, then that's fine too. there's a chance I might not be able to make it out at all, but my goal is to try to at least help the new guys, right? And I hope this stream helped you out. Like, if you're first time gonna track this weekend, and you know, like it helped you out, that's great. If not, then it's all good too, you know. We're here for the fun and the prep. Man, these times suck. Like, I can't even get my real lifetime. Maybe I'm just not pushing it too much or enough. And then see here, like I can't use the concrete. All right, last lap. And because of the pit lane, right, I can't abuse that turn enough. Oh, I'll get a 125. But yeah. That was a fun stream. Like, if you have any more questions, you know, just leave comments below. I know, like, I've done 2 videos about this. I've done one video on how to prep for your first track day. So if you need more information on that, go check out that video. If you want to know more about what to expect on your first track day, this is the video for you. You know, start it over or wait a couple of days and I'll do the edited version, which is like condensed. It won't have me on track or anything, but it'll have all the information, you know, right away. But yeah, that was a fun stream. Thanks, guys. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the people who asked me questions, anyone who interacted with me on social media, gave me ideas for this episode. Shout out to you guys, followed me on Instagram and all that stuff. I post mostly track content on there and less sim stuff and mostly humor. So if you really want to get serious about the track stuff, Discord is, like I said, the place to be. So the link is in the description, it's in the chat a couple times. So yeah, join that and ask whatever questions you want. Join us on sim days if you want. If not, then that's okay. It's nice to drive behind really good drivers because they'll show you better lines. And you know, wheel to wheel is a different machine. You learn how to drive offline, right? So it helps you make those turns while not being on the school line. So you know, like earlier I said, look for videos that say the school line. When you're in a novice, that's what you want to learn. Don't turn on assist in sim racing because that's the school. Even though that's the school line, they'll kind of like throw you off. But in real life, yeah, use the school line as a guide, and then later on you can learn how to drive offline, right? And that's what wheel to wheel does. And I like it in sim racing because if you bump into somebody, you're both not totaling your cars in real life. So yeah. But yeah, that's the stream. I guess thanks guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I stream every Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time on both YouTube and Twitch. I'm also on Kick and Facebook and Twitter. I didn't realize Twitter had a live streaming service, but I'm live on those platforms as well. So look for me there. The socials there's links above and below. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Bruh. Bump trap. Bump draft.